Welcome to Tuesday, February 4th of 2025, coming to you on YouTube today, live with Mike Smith, the icon. I'm Dan Ramey, and Mr. Hand 2 has been, his fingers, Mike, on a keyboard has been going this.
It's been a blur.
It's almost like watching Liberace, back during the days of, I wish my brother George
Only
was
he doesn't
here.
have all the rings that Liberace was wearing.
No, because he probably would have thrown them through the screen here. Frustration. For whatever reason, we're having difficulty with Facebook Live today, so we apologize. It's a software issue, I'm sure. I'm positive that Mr. Zuckerberg has nothing to do with that. Well, as far as we know.
And we were going to pay tribute to him today. So.
Yeah, so sit close for that if you're watching, Mark. All right, coming up here shortly, we'll take a look at this date in history. We'll look at sports as well as things making news around our community. But first, I want to start off with the weather, which was, it was fantastic yesterday.
Beautiful day.
It was.
It just felt like spring. We expect to see some clearing this afternoon. We did start out a little cloudy. It's a little cooler than what we had yesterday, a high 45. Rain is expected late in the day, Wednesday afternoon and into the evening. Tomorrow's high of 41, and then rain, warmer, and maybe a thunderstorm on Thursday with a high of 63.
Could handle that. It was a little chilly this morning. It went out and wind was blowing a little bit, and of course the temperatures say, it's 40 degrees, but it feels like it's 25, that sort of thing. The old Chip Arledge wimp chill factor, and I fit right into that wimp chill. Before we get into some of the other things we want to talk about today, I want to begin with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. No, Ohio Department of Transportation. Right. Our buddy Matt Bruning shared with us a little tower cam action from down around Oak Hill yesterday. This was around 4 whatever time it was when the earthquake occurred. Did you feel any of that?
No.
I was here working at the studio, and I thought what I heard was some train cars connecting like we've heard here in the past. But it was about this same time. So I'm wondering if it was coincidence, or was it possibly enough to rattle things to make that noise amongst the train? But I didn't feel the walls shatter or anything like that. We've been here when we've had like a blast, a sonic boom.
All right.
And man, it's scary. Our parent company is Litter Quality Propane, of course, and our big concern whenever we hear a blast is, something's happened next door. But that was not the case. Yesterday, it was indeed an earthquake. I want to take a moment to recognize some new sponsors that have joined us here in the last few weeks. We want to first start off with our friends at Shawnee Lanes, who have their VIP experience going on. They've got a special February 4th or 14th, so we're 10 days away from this, Valentine's Night special. So you can find out more about that when you check out our friends at Shawnee Lanes. Also, Whitetail Acres Grain and Roasting. Did you know that when you roast grain, it becomes yet even more addictive and attractive to deer? That's the process that they are running out there. Alex Nelson does this. You can find out more details when you see both Shawnee Lanes and Whitetail Acres Grain and Roasting on our website, littermedia.com. And a return, our friends at the Bean Foundation. The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing the number 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number, save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, created in the memory of Bryant Bean's butt, you can click on this ad on our website, littermedia.com. It will take you right to the information page. But I'll tell you this as well. It is 740-703-0611, or email Jim Butt at jbutt6355@gmail.com. Coming up, a look at news and information, but first, Haynes Total Health Care Center. If you've got chiropractic needs, physical therapy needs, nutritional needs, they're there to help. They've been doing it for 50 years. If you want to learn more, just log on to littermedia.com, click on this ad anywhere you see it, and it'll take you right to HainesHealth.com. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. News that's beneficial for you. It's beneficial news you can use.
That's what I'm told.
And we have it for you at littermedia.com, as well as our social media pages, all of our platforms. You'll find locations for all that on littermedia.com. Isn't that an impressive picture of a tiger?
Yeah.
That was painted, hand-painted, by a Greenfield McLean student, alumnus, I should say. He wasn't a current student when he painted that, but that's been one of my favorite things about going to Greenfield, is seeing that tiger up on the wall. Starting off with news, we've got good news about a local fella. Now, Chris Stapleton's not local, but Jerry Salley is, our buddy from Nashville. Of course, he is a Chillicothe native, Chillicothe High School graduate, into the distinguished alumni this past summer. Well, he and Chris Stapleton sat down with Ronnie Bowen, and they wrote this song several years ago. Chris just recorded it for this recent album. It Takes a Woman wins a Grammy yesterday. Congratulations. Now, I don't know. I reached out to Jerry, and he's not responded back, but I reached out to him to see if he actually gets a little Grammy Award or if he just gets recognition. I think it's just recognition. The only other Chillicothe native that I know that has a Grammy Award, Nancy Wilson. Congratulations,
Absolutely.
Jerry and Chris Stapleton, on that.
Speaking of congratulations, Alexis Gant of Chillicothe High School participated in the Honor Band Weekend at The Ohio State University. Alexis performed with the Scarlet Band under the direction of Dr. Scott Jones.
And we know her through her daddy.
Yeah.
Jim Gant used to work with us at the radio station, and Jim's one of the associate pastors over at Jefferson Avenue 3CU, so I have seen Alexis at some church events and all. Dad's an accomplished musician himself,
he is.
So
He is
hats off to the Gant family. Congratulations. The Pike County Chamber of Commerce will hold their annual banquet April 3rd. This will be at the Pike Technology Center on Beaver Creek Road. Social hour starts at 5:30 p.m., so if you want to participate in that, please do so.
Fairfield County Health District will be a part of Bike Buckeye Lake's second annual Tri-County Kids Bike Safety Rodeo coming up on May the 10th. There will be 2 start times that day, 10 and 11 a.m., for an hour of learning, followed by prizes, food, and fun. The free event is for kids age 5 through 10 years of age, and they will be riding a bike without training wheels, or at least need to participate. All participants will receive a free helmet and a swag bag, as well as be entered in to win more prizes.
You remember your first day without training wheels?
I never had a bike with training wheels.
Is that
I just
right?
had to learn the hard way, falling down a lot.
I remember seeing the training wheels. I don't remember riding with them, but I remember I was in the first grade, I think it was, and Dad put me on this big, like 27-inch bike and just said, "Here you go, son."
Yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm like, "Hey, this is really cool." I went about 30 feet, and I think it was my brother Jim caught me at the other end, turned me around, and then they pushed me back the other way. Next thing you know, I'm doing it on my own and been riding bikes ever since, so to speak. The Ohio State Highway Patrol reminds all motorists to do their part in keeping road workers safe by moving over a lane and slowing down when you see an emergency vehicle on the side of the road. Over the last 4 years, 55 patrol cruisers were involved in crashes while stopped on the side of the road due to drivers failing to move over or slow down. These crashes resulted in 2 deaths and 29 injuries to the public, as well as 16 injured troopers. Alcohol and or drugs were a factor in 27% of move-over crashes.
We have a couple of notes for a special road report today. Our daily road reports will be starting up probably here in another month or so, but a couple of projects, one of them in the city of Chillicothe, and you see that on the right, that map. R&R Pipeline will be closing down the intersection at East 7th Street and South Mulberry, and that is in effect now until 5:30 today. Also, a picture that you're seeing on the left, the northbound, that's Tar Hollow. There was a slip project. You see the pilings that they've driven into the bank on the far right there near the creek. That's a road that goes up through Tar Hollow. So that work is underway as well.
I've often wondered how far they have to put those down into the hillside, because they've done that on
US 50 outside of Paint Valley High School.
Right, that was closed forever, it seemed. They've done this also on Pike Lake Road up towards Ross County, the Ross County, Pike County line. And they've also done it coming down off of the hill towards Idaho. And it's amazing to me to see how they've done this to make it work.
Yeah.
It really is. So, again, I have no clue. I'm going to guess they've got to probably go down 50 feet maybe.
Well, that project that we mentioned on 50, if you recall, they did it, thought they had it done, and it slipped more.
Away.
So they had to redo it and go down even further. So
that's why I guess maybe 50 feet, Incredible. All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. These folks, they do a great job, first of all, on the technical side of it, but they are huge proponents of faith. And everything that they do, they say, we want to make sure that we do what we say we're going to do. They stand on that, and that's a good reason you can trust them to do the work and to do it right. Your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you right to their website, accuratehvac.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway-Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway-Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. Scioto Valley Dumpsters is prepared to help you. If you've need for a dumpster, they've got them. 740-253-8389. Whether it's residential or your business, you need a dumpster, call Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389. Time for this date in history. Or am I? No.
How about sports?
It's time for sports. I'm sorry.
Aaron just about came out of his chair. What did I miss? Did I sleep through that segment?
I think I slept through
He
the
yawned that one time real bad last week. Maybe he thought he fell asleep there.
That's right. I forgot he did yawn during the show, didn't he? When he was on camera.
You're going to make me yawn again. Oh, boy.
Time for sports. And we start with our high school roundup. Speaking of the Intermediate Game of the Week, tonight we'll be on the road out to Jackson as the Jackson Ironmen. What are they, 15-3 now? And St. Trace, I think, is 16-3, something like that. Anyway, 14-3. A couple of teams that have had a lot of success this year, and their biggest nemesis has been either Unioto or Miami Trace. I think Jackson's been swept by Miami Trace. St. Trace has been swept by Unioto. So it's non-league action, and they're just going to drop the gloves and go at it tonight. And BJ Daly and I will have all the action for you about 7:20 on Litter Media Radio.
Speaking of high school sports last night, a couple of championships were wrapped up. There was a slew of games, as you can see on our score page. Chillicothe boys beat Western Brown. Wellston was a winner in boys basketball. Girls winners, Unioto Piketon. A championship was won outright. Fairfield Union finished their conference season undefeated. The Lady Falcons rolling over Liberty Union 58-42. They finished out at 12-0 in the conference. Girls, SOC won. Green edged Notre Dame 58-56 to wrap up the SOC 1 championship. And in the this has been a tremendous matchup in OVC girls basketball the last couple of years. Last night, Portsmouth wrapped up the undisputed OVC championship with a 47-35 win over Fairland.
I texted Amy Hughes last night, said congratulations, and I looked and said, it's about midnight. And I thought, that's all right. She's watching film. I know she is.
Probably so. Yeah.
That Chillicothe win last night, Cavaliers have won 4 of their last 5 games. So they're hitting something at the right time as they get ready for the postseason. And other sports for you, the Pickaway County Developmental Disabilities will host their school games March 12th at Circleville High School in the gymnasium there. Logan Elm will play Westfall at 6 p.m., followed by Circleville and my alma mater, Taze Valley. Proceeds go to Pickaway Special Olympics. Our Aaron Glandon was there last year, I think, weren't you? And are you prepared to do that again? He gives us a thumbs up for March 12th. So, pretty cool.
I'm assuming they looked ahead to make sure that none of these teams are in the tournament that night, because you're still in the middle of tournaments at that point of the season. Big matchup in the NBA Eastern Conference tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers taking on the Boston Celtics, the defending world champs. That'll be in Cleveland. And in the NHL, the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're trying to get into the playoffs, and the difference between this year and last year, they've actually got a chance. The Jackets are at Buffalo tonight.
What mascot is grabbing Stinger there? He doesn't have I don't know.
It looks like just a kid, top of a kid's head.
Maybe that's his Stinger. Okay. Yeah. I to be honest with you, I've never looked at Stinger below the waist.
Yeah.
So.
and for good reason, yeah.
You know, you mentioned Cleveland Cavaliers. Of course, part ownership is a guy named Myles Garrett. And, of course, the big news yesterday was that he is requesting a trade. That doesn't mean he'll get it. He still has 2 years on his contract. But I got to thinking, man, if the Browns were to say, yeah, let's go ahead and trade him, what are they going to get?
Yeah. I think he just wants to play on a team that's going to contend for a playoff.
Well, you know, you 8 years. But we look at Ozzie Newsome. Here's a guy who never once complained about that, never had the opportunity to play. Well, he had 2 opportunities. They fell short thanks to a drive and a fumble. But he didn't get a Super Bowl ring until the Browns moved to Baltimore and became the Ravens.
Was Ozzie on that team that Brian Sipes should have thrown the pass in the lake here? So that's 3.
Yeah.
That was 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, wait a second. That would have been 79? I think maybe Ozzie, did he graduate in no, I'm thinking of Willis Adams. Yeah. Yeah, I think Ozzie Newsome was on that team. Yeah.
So we just rubbed it in even more.
Yeah, they're starting to run together. Yeah. But
one failure after another.
Super Bowl is this weekend.
Yes.
Chiefs have been in 7 straight AFC championship games.
And this is their 3rd straight Super Bowl.
Patrick Mahomes' season has never ended before overtime in the AFC Championship.
Isn't that crazy?
He's lost in overtime, but he's never lost in regulation in the AFC Championship.
And probably one of the more memorable shootouts in college football history was between Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes. One was at Oklahoma, the other was Texas A&M, and it was, 7 overtimes, something like that? And they just could not stop beating each other. It was like 65-63. It was an incredible game. It really was. And
did you see one of the most asked questions at the press conferences this week to the commissioner as well as to Travis Kelce?
Would this have something to do about the Kansas City Chiefs and the relationship with the referees?
Of course, the commissioner said, that's ridiculous. And Travis Kelce said, are you guys buying into this thing too?
I saw a bit that Kevin Hart did on ESPN, I think it was, and he says, okay, I'm Patrick Mahomes, and he's going back to throw a pass, and then here comes a couple of the analysts. They're coming in to rush on him, and he says, and now you've got to pick me up, and he says, pick me up. Now put this pillow down before you put me down. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
And then they put a pillow and a blanket over top of him, making him feel nice and comfy. So, I don't know. I'm okay with the Eagles. I'm okay with the Chiefs.
I'm not okay with the Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah. I respect the Chiefs, but I think Jalen Hurts is a quality guy. Yeah. And I think Barkley is too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they both seem like quality people.
Just remember Saquon Barkley returning a kickoff against the Buckeyes, and I didn't like him then. Yeah. But I like Andy Reid.
Oh, Andy's fun.
Yeah.
A former Eagles coach, by the way.
Yeah. That's not how they spell Chiefs. They were the chefs.
Chefs. Yeah.
Great googly moogly.
Good commercial.
I like him on the commercials as well. So, all right. Is it time for this date in history?
Coming up.
We have to do an ad break first.
Yeah, we got to do some.
All right. Next is this date in history.
Litter Quality Propane, serving our southern and central Ohio customers for over 92 years. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people. Litter Quality Propane.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Like a fish aquarium?
Yes.
Okay. We were talking about something off the air, and we shouldn't talk about it on the air right now. So we'll go on with this date in history.
Considering that we were having trouble with Facebook, I suppose this was very appropriate. When this was picked, no one knew what was coming.
It was a little too late to change the copy, right?
Yeah. On this date in 2004, a Harvard sophomore named Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook, a social media website he had built in order to connect Harvard students with one another. By the next day, over 1,000 people had registered, and that was only the beginning. Now known simply as Facebook, the site quickly ballooned into one of the most significant social media companies in history. Today, Facebook is one of the most valuable companies in the world as far as the asset value, and they have over 2 billion, as in boy, monthly active users.
MySpace was huge before Facebook.
Yeah.
And I can't even remember anything about my MySpace page. You weren't even born yet. Mm-hmm. Speaking of...
Yes, I was.
Were you?
I was born in 2000.
2000.
Oh, that's
he
right.
was
Okay.
4 years old.
So you were 4 years old.
I was 3.
Did you have your MySpace page at 4 years old?
No.
No? Okay.
Have you seen the movie about the making of Facebook?
I haven't watched it, no.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Doesn't present him in a real good light at times.
No, it doesn't.
No. Yeah.
And, well, he... even today,
life imitates art.
He's kind of not in a good light all the time.
Remember your first Facebook friend?
Golly, no.
I can't remember my first friend, but I remember Facebook became a way for me to reach out and contact Cavaliers who went on to play collegiately. And Abby Bunstein was the first one I reached out to. She was playing up in New York at the time, and I said, well, this is kind of cool. I could reach out to a lot of different kids now because, let's be honest, when they're a star here, they go to their university and they're back to being a measly freshman again.
Right.
Nobody knows you, nothing like that. And we have to go through the proper channels, and that is the media relations department. Well, not all of the media relations departments know. I mean, think of the hundreds and thousands of athletes they have, depending upon the size of the university. So Facebook just became a quick, easy way for me to reach out to them. And then I started finding high school friends that I hadn't talked to forever. And what a network. It's been a really good idea, but man, there's so many scammers out there, and everything good, there's always something bad that goes with it, it seems.
Right.
So,
well, I was not on Facebook, and the only reason I ever got on it to start with, for those of you that may not know this, if you are managing or administering like your company's website or Facebook, you have to have your own or a separate one. So that's why I started, and I had that for, I don't know, 20 years, and last March, I got hacked so bad in that account, I couldn't even sign in to tell Meta that I was hacked. So I just thought, you know what? So Litter Media set up what we call a dummy account, which was appropriate.
he's the dummy account.
So I could manage Litter Media's Facebook, but I do not have. So if you wonder, whatever happened to Mike Smith on Facebook?
His new name is LM Says.
Yeah, but I can't post my personal thoughts on that. So
No.
that's why you don't hear from me on Facebook anymore.
Yeah, it's the toughest thing about doing that. And suddenly you are invested in whatever the company's doing, you know. But that's part of life. Yeah. Life as we know it now, certainly. Let's see, tonight on the road to Jackson, and it'll be Jackson and Zane Trace doing battle. Our Aaron Glandon will be there capturing some visuals for us this evening. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be singing Johnny Cash the whole way down.
Is that right?
Going to Jackson.
Exactly.
Yeah. You will walk the line when you get there.
You know, a little tidbit for you to talk about in your pregame. We were talking in last Friday's pregame show. We were curious to see how Scioto would bounce back after a 14-point loss to Jackson going into the Zane Trace game. Well, Zane Trace is coming off a 24-point loss to Scioto, but they're going to Jackson. So it'll be interesting to see how the Pioneers bounce back against the opposite that Scioto went.
I walked through that in my mind this morning, and I thought to myself, does Tyler Cassidy really want to talk to me, when I get there to get that answer? No. But we'll see what happens. So, Tyler, we'll see you. Max Morrow. I always like talking with Max.
Guy.
He's a super guy. And I'm trying to remember, seems he's been there 10 years maybe as the head coach. Of course, his dad also assistant coach, and his dad's on the radio.
Right.
And so Dan Morrow, known him for a long time through our association with Chillicothe and Jackson Radio. So, all right, enough to go on to our next thing, and that is going to be tomorrow's special edition, or do we have?
We have nothing. We've got 2 the following week.
Okay.
On the same day, if Huntington FFA gets back with you.
Yes, we need to reach out to Alyssa and see if we can get that squared away. So until tomorrow with another special edition. I keep saying special edition. Well,
you're special.
That's because every day is special when you're with Litter Media. Now, technically, I will not be here, I don't think, because I think I'm taking it off because of doing the game tonight.
Okay. I wasn't sure whether that was Thursday or
Well, I'm not
Wednesday.
here. I'm not here Thursday that we know of so far. I'm supposed to find out.
Disappearing in the mist.
Yeah, I'm supposed to find out tomorrow about the procedure for my back.
Mm-hmm.
And so my son's like, what do you mean? I got to drive you? I said, yeah. So what time? I said, I don't know. I got to wait till Wednesday. And they'll tell me Wednesday, and then we'll know what Thursday.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of crazy like that. So if I don't see you until Friday, they will see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock here on another edition